And this is Medicine Women Reveal. With me today is
Jen Tuffle, Medicine Woman.
And it's been a very interesting wake up this morning for me. I have healed so much that I don't have to say, oh my God, and spin out, and what the frack, and...
Life's topsy-turvy, what am I going to do? Hold on, where's a life preserver?
I mean, you literally know when something's out. I mean, I woke up for my alarm, at least I thought. All the clocks in the house are fine. Mine reset itself all to noon. Oh, well, I didn't notice that at first. All I did was look over, I go, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I lay there, and I thought, well, what is my schedule today? And then I look over again, and it's like, my husband's clock says something different. Well, I better get up and get ready for the show. What the hell am I doing here? So I go to get ready, but instead, I ended up running out here instead of just jumping in the shower, and I started noticing things were just off. I would open my Facebook, and I have everything missing on the left side except for 3 words. And they were just basically, post something. I'm like, seriously? Where the heck do you even post? Okay, everything's changing. I got the clue. Alright. So I take my shower, I come out, and my alarm's ringing. That don't make sense, because it was all off. Yeah, oh, alarm's ringing. It says 12:32. Get up, get out. And I'm like, all right. And then I usually am the person that does things when if it shows up, I unfold it and do it right then. Jen's the opposite. She waits until the last minute and does it then. And I thought, well, that's odd. So I didn't even get hardly anything ready for the show today. Oh well, that's all right. As long as I'm dressed for the camera, I'll be happy. And, I have no idea. All I know is that either I'm supposed to be really channeling and tuning something in today or what. I have no clue. But we love the fact that our board is full. And we love to do what we do. We love to give readings, a general reading, or if you got a specific question, because sometimes a specific question will stop you from hearing what the general reading's about. Our readings are based on what your soul wants you to heal, what it wants you to address. Every single day you look out in your life and you're thinking, ah, crap, or oh, good. Well, what is your soul telling you? And we don't just give readings. We give healings too. We have a lot of healing tools. And we help people that they can change the world. You can change the world in an instant if you need to. There's a lot of things that you can do. So it's important to start to learn who you are, what you are, before you can really decide what you're supposed to do on this planet. And we're glad to see we have so many wonderful people back. They must have got electricity back from the New York area and that side of the coast. And so we're thankful to see all of you. And if you haven't noticed, we do have a Facebook page for MWR. So it's, what is it, Jen? It's facebook.com/MWReveal. MWReveal. So yeah, come join us. We have a fan page, but the profile page, we know that's where a lot of things get active. We have a YouTube page, yes we do.
And that's youtube.com/Medicine Women Reveal, all spelled out.
And so there's a lot of fun things. We had intros to our Halloween shows, and behind us we have now new decorations. And yes, it looks like it's busy, but it's intriguing because if you pay attention energetic-wise, it'll have a story for you that's always for the good. There's some type of an inspiration. So the energy behind us, whatever you're supposed to see.
There's all kinds of little scenes and scenarios. I love the decorations. It's time to be thankful.
Yes.
It's always time to be thankful, but tis the season.
And so, so thankful that, like I said, I was working and tapping and healing my heart, and we ended up cooking Thanksgiving dinner on yesterday. I says, wow, talk about being thankful ahead of time. Okay, yeah. So I made a nice Thanksgiving dinner. We enjoyed it well. Leftovers, yeah, that's what we're looking forward to after the show. And, so I'm not sure how the day's going to unfold, but...
So we've got a line in queue, and I've made the notes and who's jumping in between the chat room and the calls.
Oh, good.
So just please, please, please be patient. We have you in line.
Yep, and I asked the angels to arrange it so that everybody would get their turn. And we have up until 4 p.m., so that's awesome. So let's get started.
Let's go. So we have to start with area code 229. You're on the air.
Hello, this is Brenda and Jen.
This is Jen.
How can we help you?
Hello?
Yes, hello, it's you.
Yes, yes, I just like to get a general reading today.
You certainly can. What's energized-wise, what I'm watching is the energy inside of you looks like it's been shooken up. And so, but your mind is clear and you're heading in one direction. So, there's a bashfulness nature to you. You've learned to overcome to some degree, but that bashfulness is hooked to a dislike. And so there's something in your thought process that you remind yourself how you don't like to do something, which ends up causing you to go towards and away from. You want to go towards a goal, but you're going away from it, which means making your dreams to unfold has kind of been a standstill. Does this make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I can tell there's a part of you that's like, come on already. Why hasn't this dream happened, or why hasn't this unfolded? And it is because the inside is that quivering 3-year-old self. So, and it was like, learn your place. That's the word I keep hearing. Learn your place. Well, this is changing times. You don't have to learn your place within that dynamics because you have to create your space. So now I have to ask, what does the soul want? And this is Jen's supposed to read.
Okay, so the cards that I am using are the Earth Magic cards. And there's the not able to shine or radiate is the main part of it. So we want to get you to that point where you're going to be able to shine and radiate your goodness. But what's in the way is, so there's been wake-up calls, there's been opportunities for you that your guides, angels, whoever have been asking you to pay attention, and it's just those wake-up calls are going to voicemail. So and then the not trusting, the ebb and the flow is disturbed. And then, but there's blessings in the middle of it, so you know that you could be taken care of. Even in the darkest hour, you know you're going to be able to be taken care of. And it reminds me of my personal little thing of, I'm able to thrive in the desert. In the harshest environment, I've been able to thrive. Well, now it's time to move into the rainforest and actually be taken care of and do some healing. So yes, you know there's going to be blessings in the middle of this, but let's have you wake up to your goodness.
Now, what's interesting, the reason I laughed was because I had dropped my pendulum to put on the word distrust. And I said, oh, okay, so there is a form of distrust that we have to heal. And of course, she said everything that needs to be said on that one. So as far as distrust goes, your 3-year-old don't know who to really trust because that goes back to falling in line. So does falling in line make any sense to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's great that you have had manners and you have followed the rules, but again, the towards and away from, you are now mainly being on your own, and with this means that you don't have to fall in line with certain things anymore.
They're now becoming all that. What's hemmed you in and kept you functioning within culture, within society, within your family have now become restrictions. And
Yes.
It's time to go kapow past those restrictions.
Mm-hmm. So distrust. This is something that they're telling me on the level of how you're going to heal it is you're going to have to really notice how this word follows you out throughout the day. And how often you may happen to hear yourself. There might be other words besides distrust, but now it's time for you to redefine it and then release that part and then reclaim who you are. So what I would tell you is take, all right, your definition of distrust, your friend's definition of distrust, what's the world think distrust is, and then go look in the dictionary and then you line it up and say, okay, show me. And you're going to find the familiarity in each of these definitions. Look in the thesaurus, you can even find words that will be there too. And then you'll start noticing how throughout the day you may put your guards on, or you may put on your rules and restrictions because that's what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't allow yourself to broadcast the energy that you can be trusted. Even though your soul deep down is, I am doing everything I can to show people I can be trusted. There is this part, a little part of you at 3 years old that says, what? You mean I'm not supposed to be trusted? It's like when you tell the child, I can't trust you, and the child is sitting there going, you know, a baby bit more or less, a 3-year-old is still like a baby.
Or like when they want to, you know, I'm going to show that I'm, you know, a big boy now and I can carry this, and then everybody, all the adults are like, whoa, he's going to drop it, he's going to drop it, oh.
They don't trust,
They don't trust.
But it's that sounds, it is all that belief systems. You know, it's like I'm working on being disgusted because people, you know, I'm sure people didn't like kids, and I was a kid, and oh, you disgust me, or your kid disgusts me.
They just walk in and they're like little pig pigs.
Yes, and, but anyway, what we're saying is you have to start to redefine the word distrust, and I haven't got that on my website, but it's just very simple. And you know, what you do is you're slowly taking that observation, and you are then, once you really get into how, oh my gosh, distrust seems to be the biggest thing that happens, even though I know I can trust people and I'm the best trusted person, it does affect your world. So you're going to go to the healing tools and look for meridian tapping, and when the time is right, you'll know, oh, you'll like, even though I can't, I distrust, or I can't trust that person.
Or they say that I can't be trusted.
Yeah, the words will change. But you're going to tap out, it's those particular familiarities, and you need to change that so your body will broadcast something better. So you understand what we're talking about?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Yes,
so you go and heal and do what you need to do, and then stay in contact, okay?
And you know our website, www.mwreveal.com. Go on the menu, find healing tools, and meridian tapping is one of the tools.
Okay?
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you all so much.
Thank you,
Thank
dear.
you.
Stay
Take
blessed.
care.
All right, let's take
All
our
right,
next
you too.
caller before we take a break.
We've got area code 941 on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, this is Carla.
Hi, Carla.
Hi.
How can we help you?
I have a question. I have my own business, but I'm about to quit. I gave 2 weeks notice to my part-time job that I was only doing almost 2 days a week. And I was just wondering, this week is the last week, Friday and Saturday. What do you see of that going? Because I just, you know, you're saying about the trust thing, but because of situations that happen there, I just don't trust the people. I'm a little worried about if I get paid, and also one of the workers there in the office confided in me, and I really don't trust her anymore. I just, you know, I think she's trying to get ahead in the company, and I think I could be easily thrown under the bus just for her benefit. I'm not sure. Can you tell me what you see?
So, Jen, I'll let you go first.
Okay, the first thing, so there's something in your DNA coding, that's the ancestors card came up with this issue, and they're saying to, so the shaman came up, so that means that you have to do some deep healing about being able to go with the flow, because this is a wake-up call for you. And you're paying attention right now, which is a good thing. You're paying attention to the signs, the subtlety, so that it doesn't have to become a major tsunami or a bitch slap. But it is something in the DNA, and it may be, I'm seeing something that happened at 3-year-old that was activated. So what we talk about with being activated, a story that, so from the time of conception to 7 years old, that's when you start making your markers. That's when you start having those experiences that you mark down and will stay with you. So I see something at 3 years old that was activated from past life.
Okay, so what is going on is that the question that I'm hearing inside of you is, should you stay working there this week? No. What lessons would she learn? You've learned that you have to, as a kid, be obligated, follow through, do what you're supposed to do, be honest, do the right thing. In this case, your soul is projecting out that you're not supposed to be there. So you're going to get a bitch slap, which means that if you go the rest of this week, you could start really accumulating a lot of issues, and to the point where you got to sever ties. When I started to do a path switch, the first time that I had to make a choice, I had God tell me, okay, you got to stop going to your friend's house once a month to do all this healing. And I'm like, what? No, that's my familiarity. That's my identity. That's who I am, and I love it. And you're telling me not to go. And there was a bigger picture going on. But as every time I kept going back, the relationship started to break down. The question for you is are you willing to lose what dignity, relationships, or whatever's there, or are you willing to just walk away? Because if you don't walk away gracefully, then you're going to have some lesson come to you. Now, 2 cards I pulled. One was the Moonlight, 3 reversed. It said, stop thinking about it, just take action. All the second guessing is making you tired. Number 47. It says, Sacred Pool, reversed. It is difficult to overcome denial when there's reward for staying where you are. You're sacrificing yourself for the paycheck, but you just even said that you don't even know if you're going to get paid. Deep down, there's a part of you that says walk away, but then there's that other part of you that says, no, you're supposed to do the right thing, you're supposed to do obligation, honor your commitments. And I think you have to decide whether, do you feel safe there anymore? Yes or no?
No.
Then get out of there. Because you're getting the nice subtlety of saying, go, and you're saying, but I have to be a good girl. Well, guess what? Get the hell out of there. That's what I would tell you to do.
Okay, I already gave my notice.
But it don't matter. It don't matter. Your soul wants you out now.
And you can say, oh, well, something came up and they asked when I could start. I've already put my notice and start. You know, there's other ways to...
Well, let's put it this way. If you already gave
Could I even call in saying that I'm sick?
You can do whatever you need to do.
I'm getting that in my head.
Now, here's the thing. You can do this. Now, if you listen to the hesitation in your voice, you don't want to be a bad girl. You don't want to do the wrong thing. You want maybe just one more chance to be able to do what you need to do. Now, it's hard to make a decision to let it go. It's hard to go against our rules and our habits that create us. When you start to second guess yourself, the cards even said it, you feel like you're dishonoring somebody. And it's not them. It's really what to your mother and to your father and to the siblings. Your 2-year-old had learned this lesson and learned to live with it. And now you're getting to the point where your soul is saying you're supposed to be done with certain things. So to help you heal, every time you feel nervous that you start second guessing, oh my God, I got to go do this, literally just start doing the meridian tapping, because you need to disrupt that signal. In our bodies control our minds. And when you have a habit, a thought pattern, a behavior that has become so natural, it becomes a habit, your body gets to dictate to your conscious mind what you're supposed to do. And it will interfere. In this case, that's what they're saying, is that I have to do this, and so you're going to force yourself. So now your mind and your body are arguing. Okay? Now you do what's comfortable for you, but like I said, heads up on how you're going to do the self-talk. Tap it out. Get the healing tools. Do you know where to go for the healing tools? Okay, go get the meridian tapping and just start tapping. You don't even have to have a phrase, because I'm sure you can feel when you're like, oh my God, I shouldn't do this, oh, but I need to. Because you're having war going on inside, and we want war to end, so the inner world needs to be held balanced, okay? But otherwise, you'll know what you need to do. I do see you finishing out this week because you're so honorable, because you keep your promises. But just be aware that if your head's up that something bad could happen, just give it to the light and say thank you, which means that you are going to pay attention.
And that you're making the promise to pay attention.
And if you make the promise to pay attention, then chances are you don't have to go through so much crap. You could go, oh, that's the lesson I was supposed to learn, or that's what I need to do. Now, don't mistake a hurtful things to happen to you is the lesson that you're supposed to have that hurtful stuff. That's not the lesson. So it's about heeding the warning. It's about, maybe I can learn more about the way I think, the way I feel. Now, there's a lot here. Just remember, you're going to go through this week. You're going to make these decisions for yourself. You're going to find the courage to do what you need to do. If there's any interference with the self-talk, just learn to just tap it out. Disrupt it. And then let the spirit, which is the part of you, and in this case, your higher self needs to be in charge of the way the body is broadcasting. I have to do this. Okay? All right, so all I can tell you is that there's a lot of interesting things that can happen this week. Just make the promise that you're going to focus, and you should be able to have more grace and ease. So we thank you for having grace and ease for her. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, dear, and stay blessed.
Okay.
Stay in contact.
Take care.
We're going to take a small little break. It's 222, and when we come back, we'll take the next person. 2 stands for, and coming from Doreen Virtue's animal. I'm supposed to talk about animals, but I can't do it. That'll be
I know
tonight's
it's
show.
funny because you were looking for your angel number and you're like, I'm looking for the number book. I'm like, oh. And I was thinking, oh, you mean your animal book?
Yeah, it's been, yeah. So what we do is we do a lot of free readings and blog talk, and then our night show that goes on sepianc.com radio happens to be where we talk about all the philosophies about all this, bringing out all this information. So 222, trust that everything is working out exactly as it's supposed to, with divine blessings for everyone involved. Let go and have faith. And we teach what it means to let go. So let's take the next caller.
We have area code 347. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi, Dad.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. And how can we help you, dear?
Do I get to choose both, or do I one or the other generally?
We got a full show right now, so what we're going to do is we're going to have you choose the question.
Okay.
Okay, and because that's the one thing that your soul really wants you to answer. So let's go from there.
Okay, I'm wondering about moving. I tried to move the other day, and then it didn't work out. And so I'm trying to move again, but I don't know if it's going to work out. And I think if it doesn't work out, then I'd like to stay where I am. And I just wanted to see if there's an application for an apartment. I just wanted to see if it's going to work out. Not really like start someplace to live.
Okay, well, one of the things I see is that you are supposed to move. Divine timing is a little bit off because of the fact that you have to finish something up. Something needs to be addressed. Something else needs to be unfolded. So the thing when it comes to the way we create life, there's the fight, flight, freeze. And in this case, there is a fight. So you have to fight for your right of what you want, which is to move in a direction. And were you a child that kind of grew up and was told that once you start something, you can't finish? You have to stay with it. You can't just keep switching around.
I tend to like to finish things, and, if they're difficult, and, I kind of walk away from it. I prefer things to be easy.
Okay, so that's yes or no? We're having a little trouble hearing. We're having a little trouble hearing you, so that's what I'm having. Okay, so
Can you repeat the question?
the question I'm having is, when you were little, were you told that you have to finish what you started?
Like if you took tennis lessons, but then you started, and a couple lessons in you said, oh no, now I want to go do dancing, but your parents or whoever said, no, you have to finish your tennis lessons before you go on to the next activity. Is that what happened?
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, so this is the thing, is that you're being directed to follow a pattern that you learned growing up, that you have to finish what you started. And that means sometimes you'll never finish it because some programs don't have an ending. As far as to get what you want, it always looks like there's some type of a block or an obstacle that said, sorry, your dreams are not supposed to unfold at this time. And you're like, seriously? Okay. So now Jen's going to do a particular part of the reading, and then I'm going to go and continue on.
Okay, so do you usually do things by yourself?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, because the solitude card came up, and so what that says to me is that you're either supposed to go and be by yourself if you're being around a lot of people, or they're saying it's time to stop doing things by yourself and ask for help. Regardless, there's blessing in this situation, but something needs to be activated. Something, you got the creation card and the radiate card, but they're reversed at this time, and that's standing with the solitude card. So they're saying, so does any of that make sense?
I'm trying to be out. Well, when I had a lot of help, like all of my friends and my guy friend here, that was very, very helpful to me through all these things. But the last time I was on my own, and it was very painful for me. But this time it was painful, but I had some help, and it was very nice to know that I had, a lot of support, and it made it a little bit easier.
Okay, so what's happening here is that I said, why is it she's having a hard time moving? And the thing is that you're learning to come to life. Literally, you're learning who you are, what it is you want. You're going to be directed. But the obstacles of what stops you from actually coming to life are those old patterns, because the Follow the Leader card came up in reverse. It says it's a card that offers a gentle push to get up and take the lead in the relationship or partnership. Be the one to voice what must be said. Now, you have mustered this up. You have been doing it. But here's the thing. You keep having that old program that knocks you back down and says, nope, you can't have this come to pass. You understand that there is these behaviors that happened as a child that's causing you not to get your dreams come true. Does this make sense?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
Okay, now, this programs, this way that you feel, it literally stops you in your tracks of what you're doing right now. You want to move forward. Your soul wants you to come to life. You would like to have support, but here's the thing. You have a set of friends around you that they're not really your, how do you want to put it? I've got to do this nicely. There's people you know, and then there are the peeps that are familiar. It's like the movie, What About Steve? She thought that these people were her friends to some degree, and she grew up with them, they're blood related, the people she knows from school, but she never quite fit in. And so she didn't come in life until this man named Steve, and she thought, oh, I gotta follow him all over the ends of the earth. But what she found was herself, people that are like her, she found her crowd, she found who she was, and that's what you're doing. Except for the fact is that you have always been directed as a kid, and you have learned to just do it on your own. You have learned to be where you need to be. And it's kind of like a fight thing in just a way, because, when you think of the word fight, you think, well, I don't fight, and I'm not saying you fight. It is that you have to fight for your right, or you have to go get it.
There's obstacles that you have to overcome, and that, to some degree, is a fighting energy when you are forced or you have to overcome something.
Right. So do you understand what I'm saying? Or what we're saying?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So you want to move forward. It says, yes, you are supposed to. You are supposed to move. Yes, that's what I keep getting. But at the same time, you have all these other parts that are stopping you and sabotaging you from actually moving. It's not an actual person. It is the behaviors and habits and thoughts and everything we just discussed. How would you correct it? Well, how would you correct it is that you would watch when it starts to unfold. You want to go to do something, and you know that you're going to have to correct yourself, or somebody will come along and say, well, you shouldn't do it like that, or you should stay devoted. You should. The shoulds are like shitting all over yourself, and so you want to avoid that. When this comes up, when these particular patterns come up, the best tool for you to do is to catch it when it starts. And if you can't catch it when it starts, you can catch it when it ends, but find the familiarity and do the meridian tapping. The meridian tapping will literally help you disrupt that signal so you can stop doing that particular habit, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the healing, do you know where to go for the healing tools?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Do you know where to go for the healing tools?
No. Like, what do you mean? Like,
On our website, it's www.mwreveal.com, and you'll see on our menu, and go to healing tools, and meridian tapping is one of the healing tools.
The meridian tapping is not something that's hard to do. It's quite easy, and it can actually help you become a better you, because you need to come to life. That's what it says, and you need to be the one to actually direct yourself, and not all those programs that tell you you have to be a certain way. Okay?
okay.
All right, you stay in contact, do the healing tool, And if you guys have any problems with this, you always can set up an appointment. We do take people on the side. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. So let's take the next in line.
And that is area code 216. You are on the air.
Hello.
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 My name is Deborah, and I'm just calling to get a general reading on to see healing taking place in my life or in my cars or whatever.
Okay. So again, energy-wise is the first thing that comes to the surface. And are you familiar with the word suppressed?
Am I familiar with the word suppressed?
Yes.
I know it, yeah, I've heard the word before, I know what it means.
Because suppressed happens to be something that you're used to. It's this, like a suffering. It is, it's like you're supposed to suppress your thoughts, or you're supposed to suppress your emotions or your behavior. I feel like you usually are a person that would love to speak what's on their mind, and I mean would love to, but I think you curb it because that's what you were taught to do.
Okay.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, I suppose that it does happen at times, yes.
Okay, and you have learned how to have good manners or social acceptance, but they said suppression is not, it's not new to you. It's something that you know that you have to do in order to have peace or in order to have love. It's something that you're used to doing, and it also falls in the encodement of the I don't want to, what do I say, culture? No. It could be the color of your skin, and it could be that because you're a woman. And what do I mean by that is the encoding as you look through history, and like for women, we had the women's suffrage, you can't vote, you can't do this, you can't do that. So that energy of how you know what it means to be suppressed follows you. Does this make sense?
So far.
Does this make sense that you have seen it in the past, maybe in your family, that people are you're supposed to be suppressed?
Me specifically, no, but I've seen it. I think I've seen it in family members. Yes.
Okay, and the thing is that's part of your foundation.
It's your family culture. So that means that it's part of who you are. Even if it's not specifically happening to you, it's been part of your environment.
And at 1 year old, you said, no, I'm not going to do that. But yet, little by little, you have caught yourself being suppressed. You may be just maybe not aware of this, but Jen, go ahead and do the reading.
So there is a rebirth that needs to take place. Something inside of you needs to come to life. It needs to be invoked. It needs to be activated. And the way to be doing that is through healing. There is a healing that deep healing that needs to take place for this rebirth to happen.
I asked for more details about this, and they said, well, let's look for the emotion. And I said, all right, so is there an emotion that has been suppressed? And they said, yes, sadness. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So far, yes, I do.
So do you know sadness?
Not at this moment. I mean, I suppose I've experienced sadness at one point, just like anybody else on the planet.
Correct. But what is familiar to you is the one thing. Now, here's the thing. They said that you have learned to suppress sadness because that's what makes you a strong person. Do you let people?
That's very interesting.
Do you let people see your weakness? Do you think being sad and feeling vulnerable is a weakness? Like when you break up with a guy, you don't let them see you cry. You don't give your power of that away. You understand?
So far, yes.
Because they're saying there's a familiar pattern when it comes to the word suppressed and sadness. I've known some people that don't even know how to cry because they suppressed it so well. Okay, so what they're saying is they want you to be aware of the fact that as you start to awaken, you can still be a strong person and actually resolve the sadness, and you can do that by healing tools. But Jen, what card did you get?
So I asked, what card will say what she really needs to look at. So it's the Queen of the Light as challenger. Challenges you to shine your light and not give in to fear. Are you hiding yourself for fear of rejection? Are you as afraid of success as you are of failure?
Does this make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so like I said, your energy broadcasts to me and it says I'm a very strong woman. Nobody understands the suffering I had gone through, but at the same time I haven't had a lot of suffering, but there is a particular part of you that has not been able to cry about something. And they're saying that something that happened 8 years old, that you actually turned it off so that you didn't have to be sad. It's like the sadness had hit you so hard as a shock that you ripped it up and pulled it out of yourself and threw it away and said, I don't want nothing to do with it. And so you don't feel like you could be sad like everybody around you. And so your form of how you suppress things is that you happen. It looks like you had ripped it out and says, I'm not going to look at this. And you just set it over there. It's like in the corner of your room when you're a little girl. I'm going to put it over there. Okay?
Yeah.
And let me ask you a question. Are you able to go back to your house that you grew up in?
Well, not the one when I was 8 years old, because I'm not sure where I was living when I was 8, because I grew up as a foster child, so I really don't know.
Okay. Now, what you just said would make sense, because what if you grew up as a foster child, that you probably learned a long time ago to really suppress that sadness.
Because if you're supposed to be adopted or moved around as a foster child, my guess is that you would need to put on your best face to shine so that people would want you and adopt you, and so that they don't find any fault. Does that make any sense?
Of course.
Okay.
So that means that those parts were suppressed.
Now, what I feel is that how do we want to put this? Do this slowly. One of the things that I help people to understand is, let's say they've been in a car accident. And you leave a certain amount of energy signature at that point. What you did is you left energy signatures at certain points in your past with people, places that you lived, and they're saying that you can go and reclaim those parts of yourself. Are you with me so far?
So far, it's funny that you mentioned a car accident, because I also had that experience in my life as well.
Okay, because they said there's several different points with you.
You leave an energetic footprint at those points, in those houses that you lived in as a foster child, at that car accident, at other places.
All those places you can revisit, not physically. You don't have to do it physically. The part of the healing is that you sit there and you put the white light around you, you breathe in and out, and you allow the age to when it occurred. And the younger part of you, just if it feels like accumulation, if it's a 5-year-old for all those years, it's no big deal. Allow the present of the younger part of yourself to come forward. And you're going to say, I'm going to go back and revisit those places. Then you go back, like for instance the car accident. You go back in your mind to the scene, and you'll see yourself through your eyes, or you'll see yourself
as the observer of the whole situation.
Exactly. And what will happen is that then this is where the entanglement cord, this is where you say, you look down and you look and see if there's a cord coming from you to the accident scene. And it'll be energy that's moving, and you're like, oh my gosh, and you'll see colors. And you'll start maybe feel a certain feeling, or you may be numb because you've had several things happen to you, so that I see the numbness. But one way or the other, you can say, okay, imagine that through the cord you put a purple heart with dancing violet flames, and you recall, say, I reclaim, I call to me my energy. And it's going to come through the heart and transform, which means that energy is going to be cleansed before it comes to you. And you're going to cleanse that. You're just going to I take back my power. And you literally can use your hands. And if you watch the video, you can see what I was doing. And you're going to pull through the heart that stuff that is yours. And you're going to take it all back until all of a sudden you feel like there's nothing left of you at that scene or those places. Now, the cord switching you can do, and that is a healing tool that is on our website. And one thing, the cord switching, it has the video, it has everything there. Even if you sign up for the newsletter, I think right now I still have that free meditation up. And it's a guided meditation through the cord switching. And what happens is that you have this energy that you need to get the goobers of what did experience put onto you. That the nasties that came with those experiences. And again, the cord switching will help you cleanse that off, pull it off of you, take it and put it in the treasure chest. We even got the treasure chest method that's up. Now, I don't have them on our website, but I do have them on my personal website, which I will soon get over to ours. So if you wanted to go to mine, that would be www.medicinewoman4u.com. And you go there and you can find a few other things that are sitting there in the healing tools. But what you need to do is you got to go back to certain places and just reclaim. But be your adult self, be the little self, and just reclaim. Slowly but surely you will bring back to you your self. Okay? I gave you a lot of information. Re-listen to the archives or watch the videos or whatever you need to do. But allow yourself to get where you need to go. Do it slowly. Don't rush it. Don't pretend that it's done. Make it a knowing. Yeah, I know I'm done. I know I feel. And if it feels like you need to revisit certain places, that's fine. Redo so, because you may only be able to take bits and pieces at the time. You understand what I'm asking you to do?
Yes.
Okay. And just remember, you're divinely protected and divinely directed at all times. You know, but call in the white light and just do your best to heal. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for calling.
And you stay connected. And like I said, the other part of our website is mwreveal.com, the healing tools. And I think they told me to tell you to do the meridian tapping. So just go there.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Take care.
Before you take the next person, notice that in the video camera on our left, we have a treasure chest, and that is to display that we have the treasure chest healing tools that has been gotten more information. It's out there, and I'm thinking about doing a meditation, a guided meditation, and I got to figure out where to put it. So it might just be free somewhere. I just don't know where to put it yet. Okay, so
The next person is from the chat room, which is Delicacies. And so if you could start participating with us in the chat room, let us know if we're on target or not, or what's going on. But they asked the question about career direction. They're interested in changing careers, and they've been at the current job for 12 years and feel like it's time to make a switch.
Okay. I really feel, as I look up, I see all these variables above your head. This is where your thought processes are, and nothing has been cemented yet. So it is still in the phase of sculpting, brainstorming. And so now we're going to just go and ask for more guidance. And the question is what's the first one? Job changing?
Well, it's all about career direction and changing.
All right, so the person should the person change careers, changing careers. And the card that came up was Mountain, and it was reversed, and it's number 6, if you're following along with us. There is an obstacle to your inquiry. This is not the time to move forward. Wait a while. Be patient, and a way around the mountain will be revealed. Pushing forward isn't in your highest good. Okay, so that means just wait as far as the career goes. It doesn't say job, it says career. So there might be something that you need, the gem of where you are working now. These pieces, certain pieces, can probably bring forward or explain what kind of career you want to go into. So let's say you're a secretary or something. Well, the typing skills may be, and the filing skills may be what you needed to when you run your own business. Or so you're going to notice and look around and say thank you for the gems about what it is I need that I'm going to take with me mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and so you're going to take it to the next part of your career. Now, as for the job, now should I change jobs, meaning you're going to quit and begin another, or however it goes, and they're saying, so the card that came up is number 45, Sad Embrace. So you may be a type of person that don't know how to end things very well for yourself, but it is, you may be entering a period where loss is a theme. Now, when you're changing something, understand it can be easy as changing your underwear, or it could be as hard as changing, and because inside, change on another level means death. So if you do not finish out this process with the job, then you may feel the tug of war, second guessing, and all of these things that will keep you from, you'll sabotage yourself and keep yourself from what you need to go in the direction you need to. So understand that you have to start making peace with what's happening. So you start, if you really are moving forward, then you can start releasing this job and then using the golden lasso to receive the job that you're supposed to. Doesn't mean quit your job and start a business. You slowly interact and let it fall into place. So I would tell you, say, thank you, angels, for arranging my career choice. Thank you, angels, for arranging my job choice. And you will then have opportunities that will be coming in because you're working with the universe to bring you where you need to go. The other part of the Sad Embrace, perhaps you have been having to let go of a long cherished dream. If so, take heart, for this ending may have been for the highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realized in your life if you can accept loss. Now, there's more to this, but it's like I was teaching last week, and it's about releasing. These words are very important. You need to release it. I was teaching a class since 2004, and all of a sudden, Spirit says, I need you to release the class and then take the energy and put it somewhere else. Alrighty, so I finally took my energy off the class and put the energy into whatever I was creating. I didn't have an idea. The next thing I know is that I'm going to start teaching again, but it's going to be once a month, and it's going to be specifically designed. And then I'm going to be teaching the class online. Opportunities opened all up because I chose to release that from the past.
And the attachment to it.
And the attachment to it. So go ahead, whatever you need to do now. This or that? This?
Not that.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, so I am using the Doreen Virtue Life Purpose cards for this reading because it's about career direction and all that kind of stuff. Life purpose. So it's not just about a job. It could be about a vocation, the career. So they're saying take the lead as far as what needs to be done. If you feel like you said that you've been at this place for 12 years, it's time to change. It sounds like you know what you want to do. So take the lead. Know that you are protected. You are protected in this process. So if you feel, and then if you feel like nervous or oh my gosh, if I make this decision or if I say this, that such and such is going to happen, dun dun dun, that heal that knowing, heal that belief, heal that you have that feeling inside, but know that you're protected. And this is a really strong protector with a big old shield and all kinds of stuff in, as far as angels go. And so they're saying also gather some more books because there's something that you need to study. Something, if you've been hesitating, maybe I'm supposed to go back to school, maybe I'm supposed to take an online course, maybe I'm supposed
just
to
pick up a book and say, oh my God, there's the answer.
Right. So that's what they're saying.
Okay, so there's a part of you that is ready to move. You're at the sculpting phase. You're at the unfoldment stage. So just start looking at the gems where you are. Start releasing where you are, and just put the lasso towards where you need to go. I said before, you don't need to know what that is. Just say thank you, universe. Thank you, angels, for bringing in that career change. Thank you for bringing in that job. And it may end up being right where you are, but in a better position, better pay, or you may all of a sudden realize you're going to be in a different place that you never even thought of, and it's always better.
And that you're going to have a different attitude about it, and that something, the lens that you've had about this particular situation when you do the healing is taken off, and all of a sudden you see a whole different landscape around you.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, what's interesting is when I said change can be as easy as putting on your underwear, you know, I had a flash in my head that somebody was trying to put their feet in 2 feet in one hole or something. And literally I wanted to laugh, but I said, no, I'm not going to believe that. And then
Our friends in the chat room answered that.
I challenged there. She says I admit I kicked my legs in the wrong holes. Right? Wearing my crotch on my hip, and I'm thinking that was the exact picture that I had in my head. And I'm like, no, that can't be it. I mean, because I can see people actually trying to put their foot in, and then they fall face first.
Or like when if you have to change in the middle of the, you know, in the dark or whatever, you're trying to do something, you just land on a chair or something like that. Awesome.
I hate when I put my underwear backwards. Backwards, but inside out, and you're like, okay, whatever. I don't have time to change it. But
you put your
your
shirt.
husband goes, excuse me, look at that.
You put your shirt on instead of pants.
You've done that, huh?
I don't know.
But change can be humorous as well. It doesn't have to be bad.
I know we're doing life-changing work here, and I'm cracking up thinking of underwear.
But again, it can be humorous. We're glad to have you back, Kimberly, because
Okay.
she also lost electricity and stuff because of the Sandy thing. But okay.
Known as a hurricane.
A hurricane. Okay,
so we're going to take a break. We have a call-in queue, so area code 510, you are up after this short break.
All right. I have to say, you know, change can be funny. I'm still laughing over the underwear that was shown in my head. Okay, got that on my system. Let's take the next person. How's that?
Area code 510, thank you for being patient. You are on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Hi, how are you guys?
Oh, good.
Great.
How are you?
I'm good. I just wanted a general reading.
You can, sure. Yes. Well, that's funny. The very first thing they show me are tornadoes. You know, I'm thinking, okay, you're talking about hurricane because we just had that? And it shows me an emotional whirlwind. And it hasn't landed. It hasn't busted out yet. It hasn't touched ground. So, are you in the middle of a chaos right now?
No.
Okay, so I got to find out what this is. And
it's a cyclical pattern for this person. If you were to look at your ages, you could get specific numbers of ages that this is there's a cyclical pattern of something happening.
have you had people that are sabotage your life? It's not a commercial. Anyways, do you feel like you've had people that sabotaged you in the past?
Far as like what?
What was that?
Did you say as far
As far as like what?
like
Oh,
what?
like what? People,
Like it's like going back to school days. People would. I'm seeing the TV show Glee where the people walk down the hallway and throw slushies on people. If people did that kind of stuff, or if it might have even been more subtle, and then people going from that into the workplace.
well, I'm going to just tell you this. Have you had somebody that's considered as a nemesis or an enemy?
No.
No. Okay. Well, I usually don't do predictions or future things, but this energy has, like I said, hasn't touched down yet. And they said that you're calling in somebody, some person. How do I want to do this? Have you ever been betrayed before?